Right.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Armchair Keepers of Arcane Secrets. I'm host A, Matt Ryan.
I'm host B. B is in Bob Geis.
And as you know, you're tuning in because you want to know what we're doing as we prepare for our individual in-person masks of Nyarlathotep games.
I am super excited. I have my kickoff tomorrow for my first session, Masks. It's going to be epic. Epic.
It's going to be epic. So today, right now it's Wednesday lunchtime. Bob's playing Thursday night, and then I'm playing my session 2 Friday night.
Yeah.
So, okay, Bob, you've done
Yep.
a little prep for session 1.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So everybody, look at this. Check this out. This is a little folder here. This is a better one. You can see it has a little table tent. It has the passport photo, has the passport, and the character sheet. This is going to be so super organized, Matt. Everybody's going to get their little folder. At the end of the session, they're going to stuff their folder back with their character sheets and all their belongings. They're going to give it to me. That way, session 2 comes around. I don't have to say, do you remember your character? I'll already have them. And it'll just be incumbent upon me not losing them. Good 50-50 chance there.
It's a pretty good idea. I give the players the choice. Do you want me hang on to your character, which means it's going to be safe? We're playing in my house. I'm probably not going to lose it. I could. Chances are small.
Yep.
Or do you want to take it? Because some people like to take their characters. They like to. Oh, and I gave them those the passports from the HPL Historical Society prop kit.
Yep, that's in here.
Yep, I gave them their passports and let them take them. So we'll have to see what happens.
Hey, as long as they bring it back, as long as they bring back their folder, I don't care what they do with it,
Did you make these characters for them?
So it was kind of a blend. I didn't make anyone's characters. 2 of my players did opt for the pre-gens from the pre-gen pack. But 3 of the 5 did make their own characters, which is great.
Let's have some quick occupations. Who have we got?
Yeah, that's not so great. They don't know this yet, but that's not so great. That I'm going to tell them, let's not paste any of our photos into our passports after they get past room 410, because we may have a roster change, right? Let's just say there's no heavies. We have Johann Braus, who is Johann Braun, who is a languages professor. We have Arthur Digbin, who is a doctor. Those are both pre-gens.
Those are that's a medical doctor.
Medical doctor, yep. And now we get into the new ones. And there's Giovanni Johnny Marino, who is a sailor.
He's a sailor.
He's the closest thing we have to a tough.
Okay.
And then we have Walter Humphreys, who is a paleontologist. That's going to come in handy. And then we have Arnie Hall, who is a pilot. So yeah,
I've got a pilot. I've got a crop duster.
Yeah, no, this is they're fun characters to play. It's just if they get into fisticuffs or machete cuffs in that first room, heads could roll quite literally.
The nice thing is that there's a lot of options for us as a keeper as to how those 3 crazy cultists respond.
Oh yeah, I've already have in my head like a backstory for those guys, right? They worked like the one dude worked at the Chelsea hotel. That's how they were able to get in. He he was a former employee, so he knew the way to get into the back door and go upstairs. Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Not that it'll ever come out, but in my brain, it's all there.
Now, are they going to be wearing their tongue headbands?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I may be wearing mine too.
Now you've constructed one.
Yeah. I've constructed actually one, and another was in the way for the cult leader. He has a fancy one, so his is requiring more.
That's down the road. The cult leader is down the road.
Oh yeah. But no. So again, I'm having a buddy come over. My buddy is going to play the part of Jackson Elias, and I've lied to my players, telling them that Dave is going to be with us through this entire campaign playing Jackson Elias, right? So we're going to set up a scene where they get introduced to him, and then the scene will switch. I'm going to have him go out of the room, and then I'm going to have him call one of the players for that first call from Jackson Elias, say, meet me in room blah 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 at Chelsea Hotel. Then I'm going to have him stage the room outside my game room with all the clues and props, and lay on the table being dead Jackson Elias.
And you've made a bloody shirt for him.
Yeah. Well, I'll just have him wear my bloody shirt. for sure.
Put the bloody shirt on. Now, so that's interesting, and I want to ask you a question about from our mailbag. One of our 49 subscribers. We just got our 49th subscriber, Bob. That's pretty exciting.
We are near 50, so near.
I can smell 50 in the wind.
It's a possibility.
They ask, since we're skipping the Peru chapter, how do we form a relationship between Jax and Elias and the players?
Yeah. No, so that's the whole reason I'm having my buddy, who my players all know. It's not just my buddy, it's their buddy, right? And so Dave, who's playing Jax and Elias, we're going to stage like the first 0 scene, if you will be an ocean voyage from London to New York in 1922, 23 in the past, right? Where they happen to meet Jax and Elias, and they have a nice little dinner with Jax and Elias, and they talk, and that's how the relationship is formed, right?
And you've done this before, yes?
That's how I did it before. It worked great. And then, lo and behold, a few minutes later, when poor Dave / Jax and Elias is in the other room dead, they'll be devastated. They'll want to avenge the death of Jax and Elias.
And I didn't do any of that. I just said, he's your buddy. And I think as we go along, more of that will unfold. I'm running into session 2.
Yep.
Session 2. So I've already dealt with the cultists. Session 2 is pretty investigative heavy, right? So now they're going around New York and they're talking to different people, but they have to go to the funeral.
Yeah.
So I think at the funeral of Jax and Elias, I'm going to ask my players to spontaneously come up with some memory.
Nice. Eulogize.
That they've had of Jax and Elias. And I often reward my players with luck points for creativity or sitting in different chairs. I like when my players sit in different chairs from session to session.
That's a great idea. I'm going to one-up you there a little bit. I would say give them like a token, right? Like a little token. Say, here, take this little token for a good thing, and you can use it as a bonus die at some point.
But give them a bonus die.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing I wanted to mention from our mailbag, reviewing our stats, Bob.
Oh, my.
Is that most of our videos, the average length that anybody watches our videos, which are 15 minutes, they're not long.
2 minutes.
6
minutes.
So, that's the average, though. That's the average. So some people are watching it for 15 seconds and saying enough of this. But what that means is, after the 6-minute mark, when we're in that less watched territory, we can drop F-bombs left and right.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's going to notice.
That's fantastic.
If you've got an F-bomb ready to go.
If you can signal when we're at the 6-minute mark so I can let her loose, I will let her rip. I don't know where that happens in the YouTube-verse, but yeah, I'm going to do it.
You're going to do it. Now, here's the other thought I had. We at one point here, we talked about how the New York cultists they're not as organized. They're scattered, right? They're a little more drug-addled, maybe.
Yeah. They're less sophisticated, I would say.
Less sophisticated. I'm thinking, because I had because I was working on my mask, I've got these red cloths here, bloody tongue headband, which I'm already past, so I don't need to worry about it. I'm thinking of laying over my keeper screen, I don't often use, but I might, of draping an orange cloth over it or a red cloth over it to indicate to my players that they might be in dangerous territory. For, I know you scoff, for New York. To let them know.
But see, I would do that, but I would lie to them. That's what I would do. Yeah.
Just to lie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think that, that's you've got 8 players. That's bodies to spare there.
I mean, it is bodies. It's bodies to spare, I guess. I'm really there are a lot of cool clues to find. I'm gonna drag this out again because I think this is one of the coolest ones. You know why I think this is one of the coolest ones? Because I don't know what's in it. This is the sealed folder of the psychologist. This is Roger Carlyle sealed.
I'll be super surprised if anybody gets a hold of that. I've run this thing 3 times and nobody's ever took that bait.
Nobody ever goes after. I would be surprised too. It
Yeah.
didn't seem like that was that's the main line of inquiry to go find out more about the original Carlisle members. They're
Well,
dead.
I mean, even so, I mean, there's a lot easier. That's really like, I don't know. That's one of those things where I question whether the juice is worth the squeeze on that deal, because they have to. There's a limited clue that points you to that, and there's a lot of work that's necessary to get that, and then you get it. And it's like, yep, I kind of knew this. So unless I'm misremembering things, but again, I think that the biggest thing for the Carlisle expedition is getting all the cool news clippings and then talking with Erica Carlisle, right? Because she's super cool. I mean, that's this cool character to play. She's very, a very sophisticated lady, who the players can try to talk with, but that can go a lot of different ways, right? So I think it's a really good opportunity for them to kind of get exposed to some of the different personality types in the game. Because again, they have to talk to a lot of different people,
Sure.
and they can potentially that can go sideways if they don't handle it deftly.
That's funny because I was going to cut her. I was just going to cut her. I read that bit. She doesn't really add much, I didn't think. And
Yeah.
she's difficult to talk to. There's all these roadblocks.
Yep.
So you push, players never know when to push, right?
Yep.
They never know when to dig and when not to dig.
Well, so one of the things that they may hinge on, and again, it depends on how meta your players are and how seasoned they are. There's mentions of books, right? And in Cthulhu, books are treasure, right? And so sometimes, oh, there's books. I got to get the books, So that may be, I can see one of my guys, digging his hooks into that pretty seriously.
Which is that, but that's an excellent reason why I'm not going there, because books in Call of Cthulhu, by some of my players, and by one of my players in particular, they're seen as spell books, like in a traditional fantasy RPG, and they want the spells.
Sure.
And the spells don't really work the same, and there's always a lot of questions that come with a Mythos tome, and it takes time to read it. So I shy away from the Mythos tomes.
I lean into it, right? Because again, it's like most things, like, oh, you want to do that? Great, let's do that. It's going to be a disaster.
Well, we haven't dropped one F-bomb, Bob. We've only got a couple minutes left in the show.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Nice one. We only got a couple minutes left. Let's say what's your parting wisdom on the opening session 1?
Okay, for me, it's going to be, if they don't come out of that first scene in that hotel room blown away, I will have failed. I'm going to absolutely, it's going to be to the wall on that.
It's easy to go to the wall, and the scene sells itself.
100%.
I didn't have to stretch hard. I didn't have to do a lot of tongue waggling or hand waving. I just kept it moving. I kept the cultists wild. We had wild melee. We had misfires. Yep. We had all kinds of things. I've got a very hurt investigator that we're going to spend some time figuring out where they are going to be healed, and then I'm going to let sort of the slow exploration and the hunting and pecking and the suspicion of who do we trust. And this is what Call of Cthulhu is very good at.
Mm-hmm.
Who do we trust?
Yep.
And who don't we trust?
Yeah, for sure. No, you got to play that up. So it's there's plenty of that. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
And it gives different player types different things to do. You can have your more investigative players really dig this part, and the action stuff, they got last time.
Very true. And because there's so many different threads to follow, and as you said, I've got 8 players, I can split them up and I can spread the spotlight around.
Yep.
So that I can focus on a pair doing this and a pair doing this, and then I just can dump a load of cool ass clues on them.
Right on. It's a great game. It's a great game. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to hear about it.
And which we're going to do in a couple of days. Bob and I are going to play. He's playing Thursday and I'm playing Friday, and then Saturday we're going to get together. We're going to talk about it. We're going to do another quick Armchair Keepers video for you all, and we're at the close of the show, Bob.
Oh, can I say it? Can I say
it? Do it.
Make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons and bells and all the stuff. There you go.
That's all this. That's not a lot of begging. You've begged better.
Please, please, 50 subscribers. I know we can do it. Don't unsubscribe. Subscribe.
You know, I did. Oh, wait, no, the timer's up. It's making all these noise. Wait, stand by. I was asked to be a guest on Modern Mythos, which is a podcast by John Hook and Seth Skorkowski. I'm probably butchering Seth's last name. But I was talking about this podcast with them last night when we recorded, and I said, well, Bod Geis of You Too Can Cthulhu, and the conversation stopped right there. They said, Bod Geis? You know Bod Geis?
I think I was more close to the correct there. They said, who? Who?
We'll see you all in a week. Bob,
Right.
You're a good man.
Yes, sir.